We are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Washington football team. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's taken down, able to slip across the 35. The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 6 catches, 83 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
Leo, kill.
To throw again on 2nd down, Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From midfield now, Lawrence. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd at the 45-yard line.
They'll run it. This is James Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now Lawrence to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So holding on the return, and that's going to back him up to start the drive.
He was trying to get the job done correctly, just trying to clear a little space for his returner. Ended up getting a little too much jersey and hooked the guy, hence the flag.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. So, CD, you talk about this football team, some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet, what am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame. They talk about retirement the last 6-7 years of their career, so that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward. They were backed up to start the drive, but how about that aggressiveness? Firing it downfield right away. Nice job there getting out towards what would have been their normal starting position.
On play action, Fields taking a shot for Samuel. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, touchdown number 15 of the year. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
From the 39, Lawrence. Caught on the right side by Jones. He gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's taken down inside the 30.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Completes it to Evan Ingram. Touchdown, Jaguars. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Gold with the extra point. And we'll tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So that drive spanned 5 plays. So we're even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Antonio Gibson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. Open man right side is Ingram. That's a ring to maneuver. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play there on the catch and run.
You don't always expect expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on the team.
On first down, Robinson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
You got it! That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown! Marvin Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Gold able to take on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might well go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off play action, Fields. They'll roll him out right. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
Let's go, get excited, let's go.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
Barkley is in. Touchdown, Washington. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. On the return, Deontay Harris. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Here's Robinson again on 2nd down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was. And now it's 3rd down.
3rd and 2, now Lawrence. A slant to Jones. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan method coachman in the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 14. Here's Lawrence. And that's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But they'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Gold is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the turn.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either
Not
way.
the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
He'll buy some time right to Barkley on the check down. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this is taken in at the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result, because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that throw, wow, 72 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Harris to return it. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go, baby.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 24.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Lawrence's throw here into the hands of Jones. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On 2nd and 9, Lawrence escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 9 yards on the scramble there, but it does leave him still a few inches shy with 3rd down looming. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Wow.
The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from, so field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air, maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. They're set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought the first half, they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. No man on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Rolling to his right, and he wisely will throw that one away. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Play action. It's Fields sliding out of the pocket. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 41-yard line.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd and 9. Now it's Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
17.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Flush to his right. Into the secondary, past the 40. And finally brought down at the 43. A big play there on the keeper.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Uses the stiff arm. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Let's go, interception, baby, let's go.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers?
Absolutely.
They find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Fields. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Get ready, get ready.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. To throw is Fields. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 9th touchdown of the season. And Washington going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence forced out to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
31's the mic. I'm trying to collect. 31's the mic. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's go.
On third down, Lawrence. Caught by Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee. And that means fourth down. They wind up getting 7 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Check, 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 check.
Hey, Haywood. Opposite. Go, go, get it.
Going for it, here's ETN. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Fields. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Fields now to throw. Steps away. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Washington on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the 50, here's Fields. He wants it all for the end zone. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. And now, before we get to the extra point, remember, all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one.
45.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Looking downfield for Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I remember Coach told me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Pushing, fighting through, and he's got space. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. He'll get that underneath ETN. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well rolled. They go and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. His throw incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and Washington will have it on a turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set them back on 2nd. Now Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Check. Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. In trouble, and the ball's out under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preach, it's coach, it's thought about.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Lawrence. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
And this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They'll get this out to the flat for ETN. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Lawrence on 3rd down. He'll air this one out for Kirk. And unable to connect. Incomplete. We'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Sam off.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Not today, you are. Not today.
A final shot now for Lawrence. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game.